First of all, let me introduce ourselves.
Yeah.
My name is Laro Aina Ruhma Miladia, and also you can call me Aina. And then you?
And I'm Fortuna Laura Marisi Payung, and you can call me Una. That is my short name from Fortuna. So here in our podcast, we want to talk about learning method. What is learning method?
Learning method, it's the type how we use interpreting the how to teach
Yeah,
to the student, like what are the type of teaching.
Yeah, usually we use method in class. So every teacher has their
own type of method to yeah
to teach the
Student.
Yeah. So
in here we want to talk about just two types, and maybe in the next time we can talk about more about another type of
method.
In here we want to talk, especially me, I want to talk about cooperative learning, and about Kak Una.
And I will talk about direct instruction.
Okay.
So let's move to our
Podcast
about method.
learning method.
Yeah.
First, well, I think basic instruction first.
Direct instruction.
Oh, sorry. Direct instruction.
Yeah.
My mistake, guys. But yeah, direct.
It's okay.
Direct instruction.
Yeah.
What is direct instruction, Kak Una?
So, direct instruction is using teacher-centered as their method. So basically, in direct instruction, the teacher is the people that more active inside the class. So the teacher will give the material in front of the class, and the student is just watching the teacher explaining in front of the class. So basically that is direct instruction. And I think, how about cooperative method, Kak Aina?
Oh, for cooperative, it's like cooperative is involves students to make small groups, to working together in the small groups again, and then to accomplish share goals or complete group task. That's short term. Jadi, so the student make it the teacher guide the student to make a short term to work together to get the goals for the learning.
I see.
Yeah.
And direct instruction is using teacher-centered. How about the cooperative method?
Cooperative is like student centered, because the teacher just for the guidance, like the student that learn together to get the to get the goals of the learning, like that. Yeah. And then what about
speaking
What about-
about the goals.
yeah, the goals?
Yeah.
What about the goals of the direct instruction?
So in direct instruction there is a goals. Yeah. As we know, in direct instruction we use teacher-centered. So basically there is goals in direct instruction, and the goals is to make students more understand about the material that teachers bring. So because the teacher is the centered in the method, the teachers will explain the material, so the student will more understand about the material. Yeah. And the next goal is the teacher want the student to upgrade their skills through the teacher's explanation in front of the class. So I think that's the goals of the direct instruction. So I think every method is have their characteristic, right?
Right, true.
So what about the characteristic of the cooperative?
So the characteristic of the cooperative is quite simple. The
Okay.
first is like being saling bergantungan, positive with each other, the student, and then have face-to-face interaction because we make a small group. Of course, we have to face-to-face to get a discussion, and then we can be responsible for themselves because they make a small group, so they have to have responsibility for their themselves to get to learn in the learning process. And then we have social relationship skills because we make the teacher make a small groups for the student, we don't the student, it's a random, right? It's not all
Right.
about their good friend, maybe just friend that they just know, not close enough, but they have to work together. Of course they that 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 means they should have to have relationship social relationship skills. And then the last is, don't forget to group evaluation. Even though it's always student centered, we still have group evaluation and then group process too. And then we talk about characteristic. What about characteristic of direct instruction, Kauna?
Oh yeah, in direct instruction, of course, direct instruction have characteristic. So the characteristic of the direct instruction is direct instruction have syntax in their learning. The syntax is usually made by the teacher. So in every learning, every time the teachers enter the class, they make what's the name, syntax or pola pembelajaran bahasa Indonesianya ya. So basically they have alur pembelajaran that they have to make it membuat model pembelajaran yang sama persis, sama seperti apa yang mereka jelaskan nanti di depan kelas. So the teacher is have to, jadi gurunya itu harus mengikuti step by step sesuai dengan the syntax that they have made before they enter the class. So I think that is a characteristic about direct instruction. So what the next we will talk about, Kaima?
Okay, we talk about step by step, right? So
Right.
what the step to in the cooperative learning. So in the cooperative learning we have step by step too. What's first? The teacher first nih. First
Okay.
teacher have to menyampaikan tujuan, what the goals in this learning. And then after that, don't forget, then the teacher have to explain the game's the rules of this learning. And then don't forget to give a motivation to the student too. And then after that we move to give the information to the student. And how to give the information, we have the teacher have to demonstrate how to explain the gimana sih cara proses belajar, the learning process that will after we have demonstrate, the teacher demonstrate, the teacher have to make a small group for student. Jadi teacher ini harus bikin small groups untuk anak-anaknya, mulailah dibentuk small groups. After that, setelah bikin small groups, guru itu have to be the student guidance. Jadi guru itu harus membimbing murid-muridnya, jadi nggak cuma lepas tangan gitu, Kak Una. Jadi walaupun sudah after make a small groups, the teacher have to guide the student, still tetap gitu kan. And then selain membimbing, guru juga harus memberikan evaluasi terhadap muridnya gitu, give the evaluation untuk melihat bagaimana apakah tujuan belajar mereka hari itu sudah tercapai atau belum. Selanjutnya jangan lupa to give reward to the student to gitu Kak Una. Selanjutnya gimana nih kira-kira kalau untuk direct instruction, mungkin ada langkah atau apa?
Indirect instruction itu lebih ke the student have their own experience in teaching. So the first it is the experience that student have is watching. So basically the student of course will watching their teacher explaining in front of the class, and they watching the teachers, and the next is asking. After they watching the teachers in front of the class, the student is will asking about the material that they doesn't understand about the material, and after that they will mengumpulkan informasi about the material. After asking, of course they have an information that they learn about the material, and after that they will mengolah informasinya. Jadi mereka setelah mengumpulkan informasi itu, mereka mengolah informasi yang mereka dapatkan dari materi tersebut, and after that they will communicate the information. So in communicate they will communicate the material di luar sekolah. Jadi mereka bakal menerapkan hasil olahan informasi mereka itu ke masyarakat, seperti itu. So I think there is step in direct instruction.
Okay, so it's kind I think direct instruction just the teacher being self-centered, and then just that like teacher talking, but behind that there's a lot of meaning behind that, right?
Of course, indirect instruction juga siswanya kan still active, even if they just not that active like teachers, but they still have punya peran di dalam kelas itu.
A lot of meaning in the behind.
Yeah, right.
So maybe I want to talk a type of cooperative. It's kind of quite hard, but yeah, I'll try to make it simple and make it easier. Okay, first I just want to mention two type of cooperative learning. First is student team achievement division, and then the second is jigsaw. We talk about STAD first. First in STAD, the teacher have to make it small groups, like contains for 4 or 5 people in the group. Like we have an example, the teacher in the class, we have 25 students, and then make it 5 groups, like group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5. It contains 5 students, and then after that they're learning together through their berdasarkan kelompok mereka, like, and then they have, and after they learning about the material by the groups, the teacher give the quiz, like the exercise for them. Nah, tapi exercise-nya ini dinilainya perseorangan. Nah, tapi dari perseorangan ini siswa juga harus bisa menjawab itu dengan benar. Jadi contains, jadi walaupun di pengerjaannya sendiri-sendiri, nilainya sendiri-sendiri, tapi diakumulasiin in the groups. So dari situ coba grup mana yang individualnya paling tinggi, and then the teacher can give a rewards for the highest the highest group. Gitu, yang grup yang mendapatkan nilai tertinggi. Itu kalau student team achievement division. And then for jigsaw, it's kind of more complicated than STAD. Like and we talked about before, like in the class we have example, in the class we have 25 students, and make it group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, and group 5. Each group contains 5 people, like we call it, in the group we have A, B, C, D, and E. In nah, the first group, like group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4, group 5, it called first or main group, grup utama atau grup awal. And then the A, the B, the C, the D, and the E make it the group again, like A kumpul dengan grup A, B with the group B, C group C, D group D, E group E, and then we call it that group is grup ahli. Grup ahli. And then after that, after the discussion in the group ahli, they have to back again to their first group. Okay, so that's kind of complicated, yeah.
So basically there is still 5 group, but
Yeah.
they will divided.
Yeah, divided. Jadi mereka terpecah lagi untuk mempelajari materi itu, dan di grup yang sudah mereka pelajari ini mereka harus menjelaskan lagi. They need to explanation what they get in the group ahli to the main group.
Yeah,
gitu.
from their first group.
True.
Okay. So the jigsaw method is so complicated, I think,
True.
because they have to divide it to another group
And back again to their group.
Okay.
Yeah. But I understand why, because they have to learn they have to learn the material, and they need to explain the material.
So
like
the
that.
student is so active in the class, right?
Yeah, but in the reality, in the class, it's kind of crowded. Like we have to move from this group to another group. It's like it's not the convenient in the class.
I think that's itu kekurangannya mungkin.
Yeah, that's the kekurangannya.
Kekurangan dari si
di jigsaw ini.
Jigsawnya.
Betul sekali, Kak Una.
I think
That's
we're
it.
done about our
discussion. Our first podcast. We talk about method
and learning
method. Maybe in the next time we can talk about another method. That's enough for us. Sorry for our mistake.
Thank you for watching our podcast.
Kurang lebihnya mohon maaf. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi
wabarakatuh.
Bye bye guys.